Welcome back to Stamping at the Warren, and I've just wobbled the table, so your camera's probably just shaken a bit. Welcome back to Stamping at the Warren. It's Kim Tolton. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in the UK, and today I am sharing with you some festive tags made in exactly the same way but just decorated slightly differently, and I'm just going to show you how to make a couple of them because it's just great fun mixing and matching, using the offcuts from one bit to make something else. And you can see there's a variety on the table at the moment. The ones I'm going to share with you are, let's pop the ones out of the way, the ones I'm just going to show you how to make are some lovely little red ones. This one here with the dotty, and that one I'm actually going to be showing it to you with white. I'm going to show you how this beautiful corrugated card, which you can see in a couple here, and it's just really about playing. This one's a stamped one from the Festival of Trees, and that's the stamp set that I'm using today, and only that stamp set. So Festival of Trees is a photopolymer stamp set, and you'll probably see on the camera there if there's not too much reflection back, but some of the stamps look a little bit stained. Now they are all cleaned, they're clean with Stampin' Mist Cleaner, but photopolymer stamps do stain, and that's just part of their nature. It doesn't interfere with the way that they work or their life expectancy or anything of that kind. It's just that they do have a bit of a residual staining the first time that you use them. These little tags are made using the Scallop tag topper punch, which is a fabulous little punch, and you can make single-ended, double-ended. I've made boxes using them where you have a little tag top to them. It's a great fun punch to use, and if you're doing things like invitations, gift tags, even making cards with a gatefold, and you can close it by punching out one of the tag topper tops. So you're going to see that in action as well. So I'm just going to pop these to one side, and it should be a fairly quick and easy to do today. I'm just going to pop these up the top here. So the first thing that I've done is trim a piece of cardstock. In this case I'm using Real Red cardstock from the Brights collection. It's trimmed to 5 centimeters wide by 10 centimeters long, and it's a length and width that I like. It's just wide enough to write your sentiment on the back. And it just makes a lovely little accent to your gift packaging. So the first thing that you need to do is open your punch, and with these tags they're worked with the image facing upwards, whereas normally I tell you to work with your punch upside down, and it's just like the others, it's got a spring catch here. So you just feed this guide here is 5 centimeters wide, so you just feed your cardstock in there, and then let's turn it this way around so I don't obscure the image, and then you simply punch. When you lift that away, you're left with all the little bits that have been removed. Take that out and you're left with this lovely tag top. You will, if you feel it, if you run your fingers round here, you will feel, and you might just see on camera, this side has a bit of a ridge to it. So this is the back side, and this side is slightly rounded, slightly beveled. So this is the side that you would work with. If you want to have a white strip on here for writing your sentiment, simply just trim a piece of Whisper white cardstock and pop it on the back there, just slightly narrower than the tag, and that will give you a panel to write your message on. But I quite like using black pens or white pens onto the coloured cardstock. So that is your basic tag. And the first thing I'm going to show you is this really simple and quick to make little tag. Okay, and that's if I can find my, yes, it's there. And we're starting with Craft Whisper White ink pad. It does take a little bit longer to dry, so do give it a few moments to dry, and you do get re-inkers to re-ink it. It's a thicker ink than you would normally see. That's just the way it's made. And just randomly re-inking after each one. Just pop your dots on there. These are meant to be baubles on one of the trees, but I'm using it to create this background. And then I'm going to do the to and from, and that will be in basic black, the new archival basic black ink pad. So let's close that one up. And this is just a tiny little to and from. I'm putting it on the front, you could put it on the back. I quite like it on the front because it's easy for people to see. So we're just going to pop that up in the top corner there. Next comes the second punch that we're using, and it's the tree punch. Doesn't have to be used for festive reasons, but it's perfect for the job. And I'm going to punch out a tree using this Craft corrugated cardstock. It's one of Stampin' Up's specialty papers. It also comes in white, so when you order it you get a sheet of white and a sheet of Craft, and it's lovely. It's got movement to it, it's got texture to it. Love it. I love Craft cardstock anyway. And all I'm going to do now, try and envisage your tree, and so what you really want is that I've forgotten the name of it, but the texture runs this way, not that way, otherwise you get odd little lines in the wrong direction. So just as before, but because this is one of the standard punches, use it upside down so you can see what you're doing. And that way when you feed it in, you can see where that middle ridge is, and you just want that to be in the centre and punch. Look at that lovely three-dimensional. That just gets popped up with a few dimensionals, Stampin' dimensionals. Well, 2 really, doesn't need more than that. Take that out, take the backing off, pop it over and pop it on the front. There you go. Next comes one of these lovelies, snowflake elements. You don't want anything too large for this, otherwise it will swallow the project, swallow the tag. So we'll just use this little one here. And I'm going to use a dimensional again, just to pop this up on the back. Can you see that that's hexagonal shaped? So it's perfectly shaped to have a Stampin' dimensional popped on top. Take the backing off. And let's pop that up the top. And then because this is brown, it just ties that tag in there quite nicely. Because we're doing trees, I'm going the striped festive ribbon that's in the seasonal catalogue at the moment comes in red and it comes in green, garden green. So I actually think I'm going to use the garden green. You just want a length long enough so when it's doubled up you can thread it through your tag. It would also look really lovely with linen thread in there. That would be quite cool. usable and in keeping. And that's your first tag done. Simple as that. Your next tag is this one here. I'm going to use slightly different colours, but I'm just going to show you how I did the tree. So with a piece of Whisper White, just regular Whisper White cardstock. This time I'm using the basic grey archival ink pad, because the black ink pads got, black and the grey ink pads got stopped for a little while in the annual catalogue. They're only in the seasonal catalogue, and I'll try and make sure that I give you the product code on my blog when I do it for you, so that you can order them, because they're not in the main annual catalogue. So we're going with basic grey. If you're not sure what ink pad you got, just pop it up so you can see. And this is one of the stamps from the Festival of Trees. So just face up, ink it up, make sure it is well inked, otherwise it will be very odd. Just do a few taps and then check. Because of the block I've got, I'm doing it this way, and try and make sure the bottom of your tree is fairly close to the bottom of the piece of cardstock. And this is just regular Whisper White cardstock. And so next job is to punch this out. So here we go, feed through the top so you can, and have it, the punch upside down so you can see it. You will have a slight white edge around, and that's normal. That's what you want, because that helps it to pop up and be seen. There we go. And I'm going to pop this one, I think, because I've got a few tags that I've already cut here. So what colour shall we go with? I think I am going to go with a crumb cake base. So I've already punched this one. Pop some Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of your tree. And then pop it on the front. I've already stamped this with the Merry Little Wish, which comes from the Festival of Trees stamp set as well, and that was using Cherry Cobbler ink pad. No, it wasn't, it was Real Red ink pad. The colours that I personally choose for Christmas when I'm making cards is Crumb Cake, Cherry Cobbler, Old Olive, Real Red and Garden Green. And for me, that is pretty much the colours that I use as the focus point on my cards. To decorate this one, I'm going to use the Home for Christmas enamel dots. And my... well, that's happy, isn't it? Oh, there we go. Losing me. Always lose it. Look, I put my... This is what I use. This is the foam pad you get from the carrier for the acrylic blocks. And I use them to hold my piercing tools. But I still lose them. They're very elusive things. Again, these have got like a little glue dot on the back, so make sure you get your piercing tool right underneath. It's a nice big one, so we'll pop one in the middle there. And have a red one, which I think I shall pop down here. And a cream one, I think. And I think I am actually going to pop this under the tree. So you just got that bit of decoration there. And this time I shall use the Garden Green. ribbon, stripy ribbon. There you go. That's your next one. Your next tag, I am going to use this here, and this is going to use some Designer Series paper. So this one is the Merry Moments Designer Series paper stack, and it comes with a variety of different colours. And I tend to use, I keep all of my offcuts, I keep in the same pack, so they're always kept together. That looks like that might be, no, that's up the wrong way, so you obviously want your pattern the right way round. What should we go for? I think I am going to go with this one here. They are double-sided, so you've got a red with a I'm not sure if it's white or a yellow polka dot on there. This side is that plaid. So back again with your tree punch. What we can do is see what we think is best once we're... I'm so OCD, I try to get patterns so that they are fairly even. There we go. Again, a couple of Stampin' dimensionals on your tree. And that goes on. I'm not going to pop ribbon on. I mean, you could use, for example, there's the cording trim, and that comes in gold and silver, so you could use that. You could use linen thread, as I've mentioned before, and you know, it's really your chance to have a little bit of fun. But what I would say is this is the perfect opportunity for you to use scraps. Don't throw away anything. Keep your scraps, because little works like this, little projects like this, use those scraps up. It makes your craft much more cost effective and much more fun for you, because you're not always worrying. The last thing to show you is possibly this, where you could use this for a belly band on something, where you've actually got a punch at either end, and you know, you can just let your heart get into it and do whatever you want to do. So that's today's very quick and fast project. Hope you enjoyed it, and do share your works with me by following my community board on Pinterest, or you can search for Stamping at the Warren group on Facebook, where I've got a community craft board, the craft forum, that you can follow as well. I'll speak to you again tomorrow. Thank you for now. Bye bye.